everybody, I have finished a book, so it is time to do a review. I will be reviewing Wanderlust by Elle Everhart, and this is a romance, and we have our main character, Dylan. She hates her job, hates it so much. She actually works for a magazine that is called Buxom, so it's kind of like a Cosmo type thing, and she's really wanting her own article, and her boss is being the worst, and not really helping her get there, keeps giving her excuses and all that. And she has on the radio at work, and while she's listening to that station, she hears a contest for a radio hotel sponsored trip around the world, if you are caller number whatever. So on a whim, she calls the number, and she wins. There is a catch, however, and that catch is that the radio station gets to pick one random person out of your contacts on your phone. That is absolutely terrifying. I feel like I need to clean out my contacts now. And that person, if they agree to travel the world with you, will go on this all-expense-paid trip. So Dylan goes into the radio station, and they take her phone, they sync her contacts, and put in one of those, spinning wheels is what I picture that people use for their TBRs and stuff like that. And they land on Jack. And at first she's like, I don't know who Jack is. And then it dawns on her that he is someone she met one night out randomly partying, had a connection, they exchanged numbers. By his account, she ghosted him. And he just doesn't seem real happy to be going on this trip, but he's going anyway. And that is where our book kicks off, and they start traveling. She's trying to talk to him and be excited about their trip, and he's just kind of like, okay, whatever. And she wants to love it. She's convinced her boss to give her the opportunity to write some articles and do some socials about the trip. And her boss is trying to sell it as a second chance romance type adventure. And Jack really doesn't want any part of it. So she's trying to write these articles, not include Jack, but maybe soft launch Jack in her Instagram. She'll have him just kind of appear in the background of pictures and things like that. So she's kind of teasing him in these articles to keep her boss happy, but really they don't feel like there's anything going on. There's some flirtation, and it just really talks about their adventures, learning about each other, and talks a lot about, what being unhappy in your work life looks like. We learn that Jack is a lawyer, and he also hates his job, and he's done it just because his parents expected him to, and her trying to give him confidence to, maybe not do the lawyer thing and do something he wants to do and what that looks like. Of course, this is a romance, so there's a lot of will they, won't they, there's a lot of flirting. It's a forced proximity romance. I would call it a slowish burn. And it was just a really fun adventure watching them kind of learn about each other, learn about what they want in life, what that looks like. Dylan had a really rough go early on. She had done an article about women's reproductive rights, and so trigger warning for anyone who may not be in a headspace to read about abortion. She talks about an abortion that she had, and she wrote that article, and she was getting death threats and all kinds of crazy stuff. So her manager uses that article as ammo whenever she tries to do something. She'll be like, well, last time we let you do something, we had a huge security issue. And so that's kind of annoying of her boss, but it is what her boss seems to do throughout the book. But I highly recommend it. I gave it 4 stars. It's a cute, fun summer read. And that is Wanderlust by Elle Everhart. So go and check it out and find out what happens between Dylan and Jack.